Are you planning on moving to another country? Are you planning on taking your fur baby with you? On this episode of Adventures of Lamari, I'm going to tell you the process I took bringing my previous pug, Abner, from the United States to Germany. Hallöchen, Lieblings, I'm Mari, author of the upcoming space opera The God Queen, who's been living in southern Germany since 2014. On this episode of Adventures of Lamari, I'm going to tell you the steps you should take if you're going to bring your fur baby from the US to a different country. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That lets YouTube know you want more content like this. Like literally like this. In the words of Douglas Adams, don't panic. It is stressful to bring your dog across seas, but it is doable. The most important thing you need to do is plan ahead. My video will mostly focus on what it's like to travel with your dog in cabin. Most of these things will still apply if your dog has to travel in cargo. But there are differences. For example, in cabin flights, you should have a soft crate while cargo requires a hard crate for your dog, but I think that's rather logical. However, what I don't cover in this video, you should really talk to the airline you're planning on using and or your vet. Also, you need to understand that pugs are snubbed nose. I can English, I promise. That also includes breeds such as Boston Terriers, Boxers, some Mastiffs, Pekingese Lhasa Apso, Shih Tzus, and Bulldogs. Brachycephalic legally cannot travel in cargo during the summer months. That's because since their noses are so snubbed, so stuffed, so flat, they have a hard time breathing. And since cargo usually does not have climate control, dogs can get easily overheated, and flat-nosed dogs end up suffocating as a result. There have been many deaths, unfortunately, and they usually include either bulldogs and or pugs. As a result, when I moved from the United States to Germany in 2014, my pug Abner had to travel with me in cabin. So let's get started. Number 1, call and make an appointment with a USDA certified vet. They are literally just normal vets, but with an extra certification. Google it, you'll find plenty in your area. Make sure you have one who is certified for the state you are flying out of. You see, the certification that these vets take usually are only good for the state where they were certified in. I have a friend who is a USDA certified vet, but for Pennsylvania. She now lives in California. That certification doesn't work. They will know best about restrictions and limitations, vaccinations, or even if there's a quarantine for the country that you're planning on moving to. Fortunately for me, Germany has no quarantine. A dog will then require a normal physical to make sure that they are healthy and fit enough to travel at all. Then my vet filled out the necessary paperwork for both Germany as well as the USDA. Then I had to make a second appointment, and that has to be done within 5 days of your flight for a deworming. The vet will then give you the finalized paperwork, and you will then have to travel to the closest USDA office to have it stamped. I also need to add that you should also call the USDA beforehand to get an appointment. It's usually not hard, but you still need to call and make an appointment. Talking with your vet is one of the most important steps you need to take if you're planning on moving overseas with your dog or with your fur baby. This needs to happen as soon as possible because it will give you and your vet as much time as possible for any unknown factors, or even if you do have to quarantine, at least to get that process started as soon as possible. Number 2. Decide which airline you plan on using. I recommend United. But at the time that I did the flight in 2014, there was no weight limit on dogs in the cabin, just a crate size limit. Most airlines allow up to 20 pounds, and that is including the crate, and Abner was 23 at the time. I also chose United because through them I could get a direct flight from Chicago to Frankfurt. Other good airlines that you can use would be Air Canada, Air France, American, Southwest, Delta, JetBlue, Alaska Air, and Lufthansa. I've put links below about these airlines that also have their requirements as well as their limitations. Number 3, call the airline when reserving your ticket. One of the big reasons for this is because only about 2 or 3 dogs are allowed in cabin per flight. That's almost never filled, but you have to call the airline in order to make the reservation for your dog or for your pet. They will be able to tell you what extra fee you will have to pay. I paid about an extra $250 for Abner to be in the cabin, but you usually pay for that when you check in on the day of the flight. They will also help you find the best tickets. They recommended for me to do a round trip, even though I was only going one way, because it ended up being cheaper. Also, if you can, I highly recommend you splurge on economy seating. Abner's crate fit underneath the seat in front of me, but still kind of came into my legroom area, so having those few extra inches really did make a huge difference. Number 4, finding the right crate. I bought the Sherpa Original Deluxe Carrier. Many, if not most, airlines approve of this brand. Medium is also the largest size you can get away with under the seat in front of you. So if your dog can't fit the medium size, then you're gonna have a hard time getting your dog in cabin. United's requirements was that the dog could still stand and turn around while in the crate. They used this requirement in lieu of a weight limit. Fortunately, this worked for Abner, so another reason why, again, I used United. Unfortunately, he absolutely hated that crate. Number 5, prepare your dog for the flight. Some sites have recommended that you take your dog to the airport to get them used to the sights and smells and the sounds of the airport. You should also get your dog used to the carrier. Abner was crate trained and unfortunately hated it, so that made my job really hard. This is also the time, if your dog needs to lose weight, you get on that and make that dog lose weight. Number 6, what to pack in your carry-on. Pee pads. Not all airports have an animal relief area, so plan on taking your dog to the bathroom and hope they pee on a pee pad. You should also have one in their crate just in case for accidents. Favorite treats. Your dog is going to be very stressed. Your fur baby is going to be very stressed. So you better plan on giving that fur baby as much love as possible, even if it's through food. Xanax. Your vet may prescribe a sedative, which I believe needs to be taken about 30 minutes before you even leave for the airport. Unfortunately, we were staying in a hotel the last few days before my flight to Germany, and that meant Abner was already very stressed out, so the Xanax did nothing for him. However, if you do have your concerns, please talk to your vet. They will know what to do. Water. Humans get dehydrated on those planes, so you can bet your ass your fur baby will get dehydrated as well. Also, try to space it out. I tried giving Abner water about every 2 hours on an 8-hour flight. That way I kept him hydrated, but not so much to overfill his little bladder. Paperwork. You make sure you have that stamped paperwork with you at all times in order to pay the necessary fee, and you will need it when you arrive at your new country to show to customs. Otherwise, carry as little as possible. You think going through airport security is tough. Try doing it with 2 carry-ons and a dog. Oh, and by the way, they will make you take your dog out of its crate. And just to be an extra pain in the ass, security decided at that moment they also needed to swap my hands while I was carrying said dog. It looked something like this. Good times. Granted, my experiences with Abner may be a little outdated. Again, that flight was back in 2014. But at least these steps should get you started. The most important thing you need to pay attention to is going to see that USDA certified vet. They will be your best ally throughout this process. They also want your fur baby to go with you, so they will be your best ally to make sure that all the T's are crossed and those I's are dotted, and you can get to your new country safely with your fur baby. So if you take away anything from this video, USDA certified vet. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know that you like content like this and you want to see more of it. Definitely leave me a comment below if you have any comments or if there are any topics you'd like to see on this channel. The God Queen will be released on October 22nd in ebook and paperback. I have links for everything concerning the God Queen down below. Make sure to connect with me on social media, either through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or my blogs. For more writing topics and book reviews, check out mltishner.com. And for more expat and pug content, check out adventuresoflamari.com. Also, check out my newsletter where you will get the most up-to-date information on books, projects, pugs, and giveaways. Just for subscribing, you'll get a free character sheet to use, as well as the first 4 chapters of my debut space opera, The God Queen. Be sure to also check out the pre-sale giveaway where you can sign up to win one of these 3 awesome prizes. That's it for today. Until next time, adi! Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby's so tired. Oh.